This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining Gym. SuperTraining Gym, the strongest gym in the West. I'm here at Slingshot World Headquarters, and I want to explain to you a little bit about my current and recent diet. So I just came back from New Jersey. We go there every year, kind of a family vacation, destination vacation, where my family is originally from upstate New York, Poughkeepsie, New York, AKA Dutchess County. A lot of my family is also from Westchester County, Peekskill, Buchanan area of New York, and they all travel out to Jersey Shore, where we all meet up. Me and my family, we travel here from Sacramento, and we go and we visit my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. While I was there, you know, some people are like, do I diet on vacation? Am I a stickler? Am I the person that's a little different? Like, isn't it kind of cool to be a little different? Shouldn't I be a hard ass on myself? The answer always depends on what you're doing. You know, if you're getting ready for a photo shoot or a bodybuilding show or something in particular where you have to weigh a certain weight or perform a certain way, then I would say, yeah, you know, go ahead and make the sacrifice and do what you're supposed to do the way that you're supposed to do it, because the competitors don't care that you went on vacation, and your competition doesn't care that you went on vacation. Like, whatever competition you're in doesn't care about whether you went on vacation, and ultimately the way that you're going to look in your pictures and the way that you're going to look on stage, no one cares about anything except for how you look on that particular day. So you may as well put your best foot forward and try to work as hard as you possibly can and take every moment that you can as an opportunity to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. Now, having said that, I would try to schedule things so they don't interfere too much with, you know, family vacays and stuff like that. Maybe you think about doing a bodybuilding show 16 weeks after your family vacation, you know, so that way it's not, but most likely you're gonna do something for 12 weeks or 16 weeks. It's gonna get in the way of something. So you just have some choices to make, and I would say it always depends. What I would recommend is no matter where you go in the world, or when you do it, or who you go with, you should always have a couple of rules for yourself, and your rules could be different than my rules, that's fine, but you should never take off. You should never take completely off. I don't think you should ever give up on yourself. There's no reason to ever just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of do whatever and just go with the flow. That's a little excessive in my opinion, especially for those of us that have been practicing bodybuilding style diets for a long time. Whenever you say you're gonna do whatever, it's actually usually pretty destructive. So what I would like to see is I would like for your newfound bad food to be representative of like a really, really good day for most Americans. You know, that would be the goal. I'll use myself as an example. You know, during our 1 week that we were at Jersey Shore, every morning I would still walk or run. I would do something in the morning. I tried to intermittent fast. I didn't intermittent fast every day. There was a couple of days where my wife was cooking up some bacon and sausage, and I folded up on that and just ate that, but it was still after my walk, and it was still, you know, after like 9 or 10 a.m. It wasn't too bad, but I could have probably done a little bit better on those days. But I just always have the rule of, hey, I'm gonna try some intermittent fasting, or I'm gonna make sure I get a walk, run in, some form of exercise. Maybe I'll get in a couple if I can, and then protein leveraging. Just making sure I'm eating a lot of protein. This is also something I'd recommend. If you can afford it, if you can handle this, I would suggest that you don't stay in a hotel. I would stay somewhere where you can cook for yourself, especially if you're gonna be somewhere for a week. Try to stay at an extended stay or somewhere where it has a small kitchen where you can at least cook some stuff. Even if you only had a microwave, you can even have some like Icon meals shipped to your place, or you could figure out a way to prep some food and heat things up, or order more food when you go out and heat things up in the microwave, or whatever you can do. But if you can get a hold of a kitchen, that would be really important. That maybe you can share a house with somebody else, or maybe whatever you gotta do. So I always try to do that wherever I go. But on this trip, I ate a lot of burgers, I ate a lot of steak, I ate some chicken, I ate some fish, and just every day I try to just like stuff myself with protein, and then like whatever else happens, you know, kind of thing. If I'm gonna have a couple drinks, I don't really care too much. I'll have a few drinks. One way out of the whole drinking thing that I think I forgot to mention in our little alcohol thing that we did, where we talked about alcohol, is you can have like vodka. Vodka doesn't have any calories. Have vodka and have a diet soda with it if you want to try to flavor it with something. And then that way you don't have to worry about any calories, and you get a little buzz going and you're good to go. Other than that, like if you drink beer, you drink wine, you start to get a lot of calories in. What I've noticed with drinking is that drinking usually leads me to want to eat more. It leaves me kind of tasteless, like my food is kind of tasteless at that point. So like I just become like a garbage disposal. I just want to like eat everything, and like my steak, you know, that's like $50 or something at some nice restaurant now just tastes like paper or something. I don't know how it works with me, but it doesn't work well. So if I am going to drink, it's usually after dinner. Like, you know, try not to start your drinking or your bad eating super early in the day, because then the whole day is going to be bad. So that was another thing that I did, is I was like, I didn't have like a set time, but I was like, well, if I'm going to have pizza or I'm going to eat what the rest of the family's eating, that's going to be at like 5 or 6. It's going to be a little bit later in the day. I'm not going to really participate in that midday, because if I do it midday, I'm probably going to do it later on in the day as well, and just continue onward with a crap diet. So what I like to do in those situations is, when I come back home, I like to not have gained weight. So while I was gone, I was probably a little bloated. I had a couple drinks. I ate some junk food here and there. So I would imagine that while I was gone, I was probably fairly heavy, but I didn't have a scale to weigh myself. By the time I got back home, woke up the next morning, and started getting back on my diet, I weigh what I normally weigh. So I would say that that's the main goal when you go on vacation, is to have fun, have a great time, just don't gain weight, and utilize protein leveraging, some fasting, walk. There's no reason why you can't. You can walk no matter where you go. Shifting gears here for a minute, what I'm going to be shifting into next, and I'll explain more information about it coming up, is I'm going to be shifting into a steak and eggs diet. Almost every meal will be steak and eggs, or some sort of ground beef and eggs. I'm also allowing for some cheese, some bone broth, hamburger meat, steaks. I can have fish if I want, I can have some chicken if I want, but for the most part, I'm trying to mainly do steak and eggs. It's a diet that was created many, many years ago by a guy named Vince Gironda. You can look it up. I think the diet is from like the 60s, and a lot of what Vince Gironda said was really useful. He had a lot of great insight, a lot of great information. Every third or fourth day, he would carb back up. I think I'll skip that part and just kind of see how things go and see how I feel. I may have some carbs post-workout, just to help kind of recover from the workouts and stuff, because I plan to be pretty active with training sessions and running and stuff like that. And so I want to be able to replenish from the workouts the best that I possibly can. So I'm going to do that with salt and just hydrating, and having some carbohydrates post-workout can also help shuttle some of the potassium and sodium in there to help keep the muscles hydrated, to prevent muscle wasting, to help me recover. Big part of your workout is how you recover from it. Recovering from that workout and being able to get into the next workout. Like I did a leg workout today. The most important thing for me is how I'm going to feel tomorrow morning. If I work so hard that I feel wiped out tomorrow morning, then I went a little too hard. I don't think that that's great. Every once in a while it's going to happen, right? We're going to go a little bit too hard, because you just don't know. If you don't ever go too hard, then you're not going to know where to be pushing yourself and how to push yourself. So you do need a challenge, you do need things to be tough, but you don't want them to be so hard that the next day is a real drag. I want to be able to come in here tomorrow. My point is, I want to be able to come in here tomorrow and bring it and have another great day, have a really good training session, and then I'll probably take off of training on like Wednesday. Once or twice a week, I'll have a day that's completely off, and even on the off day, I'll probably walk, or I might run, or whatever. We'll kind of just see what it brings. But we have Stan the Ride on Efforting in at the end of the month. He's doing a seminar out of SuperTraining Gym, and every time he comes around, it's super motivational and inspirational. And when Stan's in the house, I don't want to be fat, so I'm going to work on leaning out a little bit. One thing that's a little bit annoying for me, but this is true of everybody, but what I've noticed is that it seems like when I put in a really good effort that I just get like little reward. And so it's a little frustrating, because I'll just be like 5 pounds or 7 pounds lighter, which is kind of a lot, really. But I think some of you know what I'm talking about, like when you're really trying to change your body. But I also understand that this is a really long process, and I don't want to look good at the end of the month. I want to look great in 10 years, 5 years. So I always have to keep my mind on that. That's the goal. The goal is to have this stuff be pretty effortless too. And every once in a while, when I want to go for it, I want to be in a little bit better shape, make a couple tweaks, and try something new, try something different. Before I have kind of changed over to this meat and eggs type thing, I was utilizing kind of a carnivore style diet, mixing in a little bit of carbs. I had some potatoes, I had some vegetables, I had some fruit. Now, just a small change, mainly just trying to be a little bit more carnivore, a little bit less of the carbohydrates. I still might have fruit here and there, but probably for the most part, I might have a piece of fruit per day type of thing. Like I said, I might utilize some carbohydrates post-workout. I'll share that with you guys, what it is. I'll probably get some stuff off my boy Hani. I've used some of his products in the past. They've worked really well. And that's it. So that's the update. That's how it is. That's kind of what I did over my vacation for my nutrition. I did end up enjoying some East Coast pizza, and it was freaking awesome. I had pizza from 2 different places, and both times it was really, really good. I am so fat though, that's the problem. Like, I have these fat guy tendencies. I don't even notice how fat they are, but other people sure do. I'm eating pizza, I'm dipping my pizza in ranch, which I always do because I'm a fat guy. Or I gotta dump like Parmesan cheese on top of it, which I don't think that's too fat. I think a lot of people do that. But at the end, when I'm done with my pizza, I take butter and I dip my I dip my crust in butter, and I eat that, which is like the most amazing thing ever to do that, by the way. But I think it's those little bad habits, those little extra bad habits that just lead to a lot of extra calories. Just weird habits I picked up over the years. Anyway, that's it. So strength is never weakness, weakness never strength. Catch y'all later.